What are my rights under workers' compensation? You're at work, and suddenly an accident happens. You slip, lift something heavy, or get injured by equipment. The medical bills and lost wages start adding up, and you wonder, what are my rights under workers' compensation? Here's the truth. Workers' compensation is a system designed to protect both employees and employers. If you're hurt on the job, you don't have to prove fault to get benefits. Instead, you're usually entitled to medical care, wage replacement, and sometimes disability payments. In exchange, you generally can't sue your employer directly, but the exact rules depend on your state, your job, and how the injury happened. In this video, I'll walk you through the basics of workers' comp, what it covers, how to file a claim, the benefits you can expect, and your protection against retaliation. Part 1. What workers' compensation is and who's covered. Workers' compensation is a type of insurance program that nearly all states require employers to carry. It's governed by state law, not federal law, which means details vary, but the principles are similar across the country. Who's covered? Most employees are covered from their first day of work. Certain groups may be excluded or treated differently, such as independent contractors, agricultural workers, domestic workers, or seasonal employees, depending on state law. Federal workers, longshoremen, and railroad employees have separate federal programs, like the Federal Employees Compensation Act. What counts as a work-related injury? Any accident or illness that happens while performing your job duties. Examples: a back injury from lifting boxes, carpal tunnel syndrome from repetitive typing or exposure to harmful chemicals. It also includes occupational diseases that develop over time, like hearing loss or lung conditions from workplace exposure. What's not covered? Injuries that occur while you're intoxicated, using drugs, or violating company policy. Injuries outside the course of employment, for example, getting hurt on your personal time. Self-inflicted injuries or fights unrelated to work. Employer responsibility. Most states require employers to post a notice with workers' comp information and provide claim forms when an injury is reported. Employers must also carry insurance or self-insure, if allowed by state law. Example: Maria, a warehouse worker, injures her knee lifting heavy packages. Even though the accident was partly her fault, she didn't bend properly. Workers' comp still covers her, because fault usually doesn't matter. The bottom line: workers' comp is a no-fault system. As long as your injury or illness is work-related and you're covered by state law, you have the right to benefits. Part 2. How to file a workers' comp claim. Knowing your rights under workers' comp is only useful if you also know how to claim them. Each state has its own rules, but the process generally follows the same steps. Step 1. Report the injury immediately. As soon as an accident happens, or you realize you're suffering from a work-related illness, notify your employer. Most states have strict deadlines, sometimes as short as 30 days, to report an injury. Waiting too long can jeopardize your benefits. Always report in writing if possible, and keep a copy for your records. Step 2. Get medical attention. Seek medical treatment right away. Depending on the state, you may be able to choose your own doctor, or you may be required to see an employer-approved provider at least initially. Either way, tell the doctor the injury is work-related, so it's properly documented in your medical file. Medical records are critical evidence in your claim. Step 3. Complete the claim form. Your employer or the state workers' compensation board will provide a claim form, sometimes called a first report of injury. Fill it out completely, including details of the injury, when and where it occurred, and the medical treatment you've received. Submit the form within the deadline. Your employer is then required to send it to their insurance carrier. Step 4. Employer and insurer review. After you file, the insurance company will investigate. They may contact you, your doctor, and your employer to confirm the facts. Some claims are approved quickly. Others may be delayed or denied if the insurer questions whether the injury was truly work-related. Step 5. Keep records. Maintain copies of everything: accident reports, medical records, doctor's notes, and correspondence with your employer or insurer. If there's a dispute, detailed documentation strengthens your case. Step 6. Appeal if denied. If your claim is denied, you have the right to appeal through your state's workers' comp board. This may involve hearings before an administrative law judge. Many workers hire an attorney at this stage, since appeals can be complex. Example: David, a delivery driver, injures his back lifting packages. He reports the injury the same day, sees a doctor who confirms the injury is work-related, and files his claim within the 30-day deadline. His employer's insurer approves benefits covering his medical bills and part of his lost wages. The takeaway: workers' comp is designed to be accessible, but the system has deadlines and paperwork. Missing a step or waiting too long can cost you your benefits. Part 3. What benefits you get under workers' compensation. Once your claim is approved, workers' compensation provides a package of benefits designed to cover both your medical needs and your lost income. While the details vary by state, here are the most common rights you can expect. 1. Medical care. Workers' comp pays for all reasonable and necessary medical treatment related to your work injury. This includes doctor visits, hospital stays, surgery, medications, physical therapy, and even mileage reimbursement for travel to appointments. You should not have to pay deductibles or copays. The insurer covers the costs. 2. Wage replacement, temporary disability benefits. If your injury keeps you from working, you're entitled to wage replacement benefits. Most states pay about 2/3 of your average weekly wage, up to a maximum set by law. These benefits continue until you're cleared to return to work, reach maximum medical improvement, or shift into permanent disability status. Example: if you earned $900 per week before your injury, workers' comp may pay about $600 per week while you recover. 3. Permanent disability benefits. If your injury leaves lasting impairments, like loss of mobility, vision, or function, you may qualify for permanent partial disability, PPPD, or permanent total disability, PTD benefits. These payments depend on medical evaluations and state-specific formulas. Some states use a schedule of injuries that assigns compensation values to specific losses, like a hand, foot, or eye. 4. Vocational rehabilitation. If you can't return to your old job because of your injury, workers' comp may cover job retraining or vocational rehabilitation. This helps injured employees transition into new roles that fit their physical abilities. 5. Death benefits. If a worker dies from a job-related injury or illness, surviving dependents, spouse, children, may receive death benefits. These typically include a portion of the worker's wages plus funeral expenses. 6. Protection against retaliation. Almost every state prohibits employers from firing or punishing you for filing a workers' comp claim. If you face retaliation, you may have a separate legal claim in addition to your workers' comp rights. Example: Carla, a nurse, develops a chronic back injury from years of lifting patients. Workers' comp covers her medical care pays wage replacement while she recovers, and later provides permanent partial disability payments because she cannot lift heavy loads anymore. With vocational rehabilitation, she transitions into a teaching role in the nursing field. Key takeaway: workers' comp isn't just about paying doctor bills. It's about keeping you financially afloat, supporting your recovery, and protecting your family if the worst happens. Part 4. Common issues, denials, and how to protect your rights. While workers' compensation is supposed to protect employees, the system doesn't always run smoothly. Many workers face delays, denials, or confusion about their rights. Let's look at the most common issues and what you can do to protect yourself. 1. Claim denials. Insurance companies sometimes deny claims, arguing that the injury wasn't work-related, the paperwork was late, or there isn't enough medical evidence. If this happens, you usually have the right to appeal through your state's workers' comp board. The appeal process often involves hearings before an administrative law judge who reviews the evidence. Tip: keep copies of every doctor's note, accident report, and communication with your employer. Strong documentation is your best defense. 2. Delays in medical treatment. Some insurers try to delay approving certain treatments, arguing they're not necessary. This can slow down recovery. You have the right to challenge these decisions, and in many states, expedited hearings are available for urgent medical disputes. 3. Returning to work too soon. Sometimes, employers or insurers pressure injured workers to return before they're ready. If your doctor hasn't cleared you, you don't have to go back. In most states, your treating physician's opinion carries the most weight, not the insurance company's preference. 4. Retaliation. Even though it's illegal, some employers retaliate against employees who file claims. Retaliation can include reduced hours, demotion, harassment, or even termination. If this happens, you may have a separate legal case for wrongful termination or retaliation on top of your workers' comp claim. 5. Misclassification of employees. Some employers try to label workers as independent contractors to avoid providing coverage. If you're treated like an employee, working scheduled shifts, under supervision, using company equipment, you may still be entitled to workers' comp regardless of your job title. Example: James, a construction worker, injured his hand on the job. The insurer denied his surgery, claiming it wasn't necessary. James appealed, presenting medical records from 2 specialists. The judge ruled in his favor, forcing the insurer to cover the surgery and back pay benefits. Protecting yourself. Report injuries promptly. Follow your doctor's instructions. Keep detailed records. Don't ignore denial letters. Act quickly to appeal. Consider consulting a workers' comp attorney if your case is complex. Bottom line, denials and delays happen, but the law gives you ways to fight back. Knowledge, documentation, and persistence are the keys to protecting your rights. If you're hurt or get sick on the job, workers' compensation is there to protect you. It can cover your medical bills, replace part of your lost wages, provide disability benefits, and even support your family if the worst happens. The system is designed as a no-fault safety net. You don't have to prove your employer was negligent to receive help. But to use those rights, you need to act quickly, report your injury, see a doctor, and keep records. If your claim is delayed or denied, don't give up. You often have the right to appeal. If this video clarified your workers' comp rights, hit like, share it with a coworker, and subscribe for more guides to workplace law.